Alright, so with Generation 9, aka Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet now being a thing, it's definitely been really interesting to see the fan response to it, especially in the comments of my videos on Reddit and what some other content creators are saying. Now, I've seen a lot of positive, negative, and a ton of mixed reception towards the newest titles. Most negative reception is with regards to the game's graphics, what seems to be sort of stutters, which lead a lot of people to believe that there will be frame rate issues, which there probably will be, and we all are just kind of memeing on the fact that the character designs look like the Route 1 youngsters. But another one I definitely see a lot, and the core topic of this conversation, is the idea that Gen 9 is too soon, and I wanted to sort of discuss this because it's quite a widespread sentiment, and there are some nuances I'd like to discuss behind it. So yeah, more of a laid-back discussion video, much like the one that came out earlier today. But if you're looking for something that's a little more scripted and in a sort of short essay format, you can also check out my video going over all of the new information we received about the games, and my video going over the Gimmick and what it could be. We talk about time travel in that video, we talk about type fusion potentially, and anyways, they'll both be linked below. That said, let's dive in. Okay, so I've seen a lot of people say this is the third Pokemon we're getting within the span of 12 months, and therefore they are spamming out games too quickly, and we'll see a drastic quality dip as a result. Now, this makes sense at face value. They come up with a game in November, then they come out with a game in January, now we're getting another game, likely in November again, so that's a lot of games in a short burst. Definitely the case, but I think a lot of people are forgetting something when it comes to this discussion. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl were developed by ILCA. These titles were completely separate. They didn't add anything to the Pokemon formula as a whole. You guys know what my opinion is of these games, but my point is that it's not like Gen 9 needed anything from these games to exist. And whether or not these games exist, both from a development perspective because they were developed by ILCA and Masuda oversaw them, whatever the hell that means, or even just from a gameplay standpoint, they're not really relevant to the conversation. As far as I'm concerned, Legends was the late 2021 game that needed a little more time to be finished. Game Freak has always had sort of like an A and a B team, and ILCA is almost like a C team in this case. Now, those of you who have been watching my channel for a while, if you haven't, hi, I'm Gym Leader Ed. I cover monster taming games, which is a category or genre of games that either have monster catching, monster battling, or monster raising elements. But anyways, you guys know I've always said, give the games more time to cook. I liked it when they used to have 4-year generation cycles. I absolutely reject the idea that they couldn't do cycles again in 4-year spans because they have to keep up with merch that never stopped them before, and there's no good reason as to why that would stop them now. Most generations of Pokemon sure have less total Pokemon, but they usually make up for a good chunk of those with forms. So I really don't see why we can't go back to the time when it was every 4 years. I mean, if it's because they're introducing less Pokemon per gen, just take an extra year and introduce like 15 more Pokemon. Like, what are you guys doing? But yeah, this is a cycle that's been happening since X and Y, essentially. Now, would I have loved them to take another year just to jam as much content into this upcoming title as possible? Absolutely. But am I surprised? No. Now, in terms of my expectations regarding this game, especially because it's coming out not too long after Arceus, despite it seemingly taking a lot from that game, I'm not expecting this to be the perfect Pokemon game with a billion different features, 18,000 battle facilities, Mega Flygon, and more. But based on what we've seen, which admittedly is a very small amount, I do think that the Pokemon Company right now has the building blocks to make a really good game. They just have to execute it properly. I even made a video a while back talking about what I'd like to see them take from Legends Arceus and bring to Generation 9, which will be linked below, by the way. But in that video, I specifically mentioned the seamless battles, which are going to be a thing, overworld shinies, which I definitely hope are a thing, and I basically just want them to take what was good from Arceus, add towns, modern Pokemon mechanics like gyms and held items and abilities and stuff like that. Hell, they can keep Frostbite, that's better than Freeze in my opinion, and work on it from there. Anyways, tangent aside, my point is that I hope this is a good game, and I do think at the very least it will be a step up from Sword and Shield and BDSP. We have yet to see whether or not the game will be a step up from Legends, but from what they're saying, it seems like it will be. It'll be Legends with more. Just looking at Generation 9, I feel like Legends should have been the first Switch title, followed by Gen 9, to sort of cement the first core Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch. Sword and Shield just felt like 3DS games, and I feel like if this was the big step up, we wouldn't have seen the whole National Dex crisis because a lot more people would have accepted it. I talked about that in the previous video, so check it out if you want to hear more. But my point is that even if they are late to the party, I'm glad that these games are here, and I'm glad that they're trying this. We've got to take what we can get with them trying new things, and this is definitely a step in the right direction based on what I've seen. Anyways, honestly, this is just a quick discussion video that I wanted to get out because I do see a lot of people saying that the game's coming too soon, and they're almost shocked that it was revealed, even though it was honestly one of the most obvious things that was to come from the Pokemon Company patterns. I mean, since Gen 6, we've had 3-year cycles. The possibility of a 4-year cycle was definitely presented by Legends releasing late, but it shouldn't come as a huge surprise either. I definitely feel a little bit vindicated because I was saying that Gen 9 was probably coming. So hopefully it's a good time. I look forward to covering all of the news we get up until launch, and honestly, this is the most excited I've been for a generation since the Gen 6 days. And while I'm not fully head over heels, I put up that poll. A lot of you guys said you were either super hyped or cautiously optimistic. I think I'm like a little bit above cautiously optimistic. Like, I was cautiously optimistic for Arceus. I'm like optimistic now. That said, if you are a Pokemon fan or a fan of the monster taming genre as a whole, definitely subscribe to the channel. I put out new monster taming videos every single day. You can also follow me on Twitter, GymLeaderEd. Check out my Discord, all links below. Special thanks to my patrons, especially Steelcase, Jim Hamilton, and Dark Persona, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.